Hello, good evening all. Am I audible? Guys, someone please acknowledge me. My voice is clear.
Yes, it is audible.
Okay. Sorry, friends. Sorry for the delay. We can start it now. So let me share my screen. 1 minute. I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So hope all of you can hear my voice and hope everyone can see my screen. Okay. So today we are moving into the next level of our topic. So I can show our flow, how we are going to have the sessions. So let me summarize the same. So just a minute. So last class we have done the cloud computing net. Okay, cloud basics. So is there any doubt from that? Because from that we can continue further. So do you have any doubts from the last session? Cloud computing basics. Because today we are going to move on to the technical part. Okay, we are going into the actual our technical part. Okay, then if you are clear means I'll go for take it to the today's session. So as per our flow, right, these are the services we are going to cover. Yeah, sure. Okay, these are the services which we are going to cover, but to understand the services, right, one by one, I'll tell you what is our upcoming flow. So in that way, our first service which we are going to discuss about IEM, friends. Okay, the first service which we are going to discuss about IEM, because some dependency is there. Okay, here in the as per the syllabus I mentioned, like first Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, Amazon Simple Storage Service, Elastic Block Storage, Elastic Load Balancing. But as per as a continuity, okay, if you want to have a continuity, this will be the flow. So that's what I'm saying. Like first we are going to discuss about the IEM first day. So today, then EC2, then S3. Okay, then even before ES3 we can go with the VPC, so that will be in a flow. Okay, VPC, and then I can go for S3. Okay, then I can go for ELB, elastic load balancing. Okay, and auto scaling. Okay, AWS auto scaling and Route 53, and it will be goes on. Okay, first we can discuss up to this, and then we'll move on to the other use cases as well. So in that way, friends, today we are going to discuss about IEM. So before start to discuss about IEM also, I want to know how many of you having the AWS account already, because AWS account is essential. Because last class we learned like about the basics of cloud computing and everything, like what is meant by like a cloud account as well. So today I'll give a small intro about cloud account, and from there we can start to work on this. So as an example, I can say, friends, whenever you are going for a new project, okay, so say an example, you are getting to any cloud project. So for the particular customer, say an example, I'm supporting for a customer like let's take an example like one of a banking customer. Okay, so for the banking customer, I'm doing the cloud support means I need a AWS account first of all. Okay, so yes, as you asked, so today I'm going to show up the set up the cloud account. So setting up the cloud account, it is very simple, friends. It is nothing but, that's the reason I said like I'm going to tell about one scenario like for your customer. Okay, definitely you are from an organization, so even I can select the network journey. So for the network journey, I'm going to have a one cloud account means the cloud account, we are learning the AWS. So let's take like a AWS account. Under the AWS account only, we are going to post our all the resources. I mean to say like under the AWS account only, you are able to access the EC2, S3, okay, anything. Okay, I mean to say like 1 minute, guys. Okay, so you want to say like a workbook, right? So I can touch with my team and I can convey you the same. Okay, but you will have it. Okay, no worries. Okay, so fine. 1 minute. Okay, so what I said here, if you want to use the cloud account, right, you can have any one of the AWS account or anything. So by means of AWS account only, you are able to, under that only, you are able to use the IEM, EC2, S3, VPC, load balancer, whatever it is. So if you want to access those services, you need a AWS account actually. Okay, so from the AWS account only, you are able to work with the any services. So I'll guide you how to create a AWS account first of all. So to create a AWS account, it is very simple task. You can get into the browser generally. Okay, so there you can go for Amazon free tier. Actually, in real time, the people are working on demand. On demand in the sense they will work on the direct AWS account with the one newly created account. But now we are going to use a free tier account for our practice actually. So what I mean to say like aws.amazon.com/free. So that what you can do, you can go for create a free tier account. From the free tier account, what you can do, you can go for create your resources actually. But in real time for customer, okay, in real time environment, they will go for a paid account. I mean to say, friends, I'm going to create a free account. You're going to use a paid account in real time. But console and the concept, configuration, step-by-step configuration, everything is going to be same. So there is no much difference between free tier account and paid account. In the free tier account, you are going to access it freely. Paid account, you are going to pay the money. That is the only difference. So to create a new AWS free tier account, you can come to the aws.amazon.com/free. Then you can go for click on create free account. Okay, you can go for click on create free account. Okay, you can click on create a new AWS account. Okay, you can create it for freely for 12 months. But I can say, friends, this 12-month free tier access, right? It will ask us some basic information only. If you want, I can tell you the step-by-step guide. Nothing but here you are going to specifically a proper mail ID, official like personal mail ID. For your practice, you can use a personal mail ID. Okay, you can use your personal mail ID and password, confirm password, and you can give account name. Then it will take you to the next page. So currently, I'm having a AWS account already. For myself, for taking the training, I'm having the AWS account already, which I created aws.amazon.com/free already. But for your case, I want to explain you, right? So for that, what I'll do, I'll show you one reference link. With that reference link, I can show you how to create it. Okay, I'll go for AWS free tier account creation. So I'll tell you the step-by-step things. Okay. So this will be the first page. In the first page, you are going to give that. But the next page, right? The next page, it will ask about the next information like your other information. So I will tell you how the other information will be there. Because as I said, I am having the free tier account already. So that is the reason I am showing this. See guys, first you need to go here. And as I said, you can first fill up the basic information. The next page, right? The next page will be looking like this. Contact information. Okay, 1 minute. The next page, it will be contact information. So here I'm recommending that don't go with the professional, go with the personal. Why? Because since you are using for a personal purpose, for a practice, for learning, okay, you can choose a personal account actually. Okay, you can choose a personal account. Instead of go for a professional, please select personal. But you can fill up this detail, not a problem. It won't be a problem. You can fill up the full name, company name, phone number, and this stuff. So next, after filling this personal detail, account type, you are choosing like first creating the main page, email address, password, confirm password, and next to that, professional or personal account type. Account type should be personal for your case, and payment information. So here it will ask for a credit card or debit card detail, but no worries, it won't impact anything. Okay, it won't deduct any money at all. So you can confidently you can give your debit card details or credit card details. It won't deduct any money actually. Okay, so what you can do it actually, after giving this detail, then only it can be verified. So to verify only you are going to give this. Okay, to have a verification only you are going to give this. So this won't deduct any amount, but I can recommend you. Okay, I can recommend you one thing. I'll tell you what are the free tier eligibles. So based on the free tier eligible, you can use it means then it won't be chargeable. Like actually you are going to use a free tier account, but later you can switch it to the paid account, right? That is the reason they are. That is the reason they are asking this detail. But it will be safe. So don't worry. You can give this payment information detail as well. Next to that, finally you can go for confirm your identity. So it will generate a OTP and it will give it to your mobile number. So you can fix this as well. Okay, you can confirm your identity. Next to that, confirm your identity, it will be verification code and your account will be created successfully. So finally, you will get a free tier account. But for creating the free tier account also, you need to choose a basic plan. Don't go with the developer plan or don't go with the business plan. Okay, please go with basic plan. Basic plan free. If you choose a basic plan free means, then it won't be much chargeable. Okay, so it won't be chargeable. It is completely free when you choose a free basic plan free. So please make use of this. So that's the reason you will get it actually. Okay, right? Now, as a result, you will get a one AWS free tier account. With this free tier account, you can practice a lot. So got it? How we can go for getting AWS free tier account? Is there any doubt? Up to? Okay. Right, friends. So you are able to create a free tier account. So with the guidance, I can share this link in the chat box as well. You can make use of this. You can note down. By following this, you can do it. Only the two condition I said. What is the first condition? Go with personal account. Okay, go with personal type. And another one is go with basic plan. So this is a two condition if you want to create a free tier account. Now, once you create an account, right, you can log in like this. Okay, let me log into the free tier account. Okay, I'll log into my free tier account actually. So while log into the free tier account, it will be asked two types. One is root user, another one is IAM user. Even today's topic is about IAM, right? I'll tell you what is IAM, why we need this and all. So you are going to log in whatever the credential which you mentioned right here in the very first page. In the very first page, you mentioned about your credential, email address and password. With this email address and password only, you can log in. Okay, so you should remember this email address and password of while creating this. Okay, please remember this email address and password. So with that, you can log into this root account actually. So you're going to log in as a root user. So in my case, this is my username, and I'm going to log in. Okay, I'll go for password. So AWS account name is nothing but for your reference. You can give any name. It's any user-friendly name. It can become any user-friendly name actually. Not a problem. Okay. The AWS account name can be anything. See, for me it is Mon-Fri. Mon-Fri is the AWS account name. Okay. So once you created an account successfully, it will be available like this. Okay. So here you can find out all the services. This will be your main dashboard. Okay, this will be main dashboard, AWS management console access. So here you can get all the services. This is your console home, and here you can use any region. Okay, you can use any location. So based on your customer location, you can choose any one of the region, and there you can create your EC2 instances. Okay, VPC, S3, anything. Okay, but IAM is a global service. IAM is a global service. So what I'll do, I'm talking about IAM now. So anybody having an idea about IAM already? Anyone already aware of IAM, or what do you think about IAM?
That is identity access management, right?
Identity and access management. Very good. So what it will do? What is the purpose we want to go for identity and access management?
Well, to give you permission or authorization to access or to create an instance.
Very good. To provide a authentication and authorization, we can say. Okay. In order to provide a authentication and authorization, we need a IAM. In the name itself, it is saying like IAM is for providing the identity and accessibility. The name itself, it is advertising. IAM means identity and access management. Okay. Identity means providing the authentication. Accessibility means providing authorization. So identity and access management is used like a user management in the AWS account. So you can utilize this like a AWS user management. So here, the one user which I log in currently, right, who is the root user. Likewise, in your case also, if you are creating an AWS account, right, you are creating an AWS account with the root user only. You are creating an AWS account with the root user. Even you ask, right, what is this email address and password? That email address and password is a root user credential. While creating the first page, you are giving the email address and password, right? That is your root username and password. So with this username and password only, you are creating a AWS account. So you are become the so you are the owner of the AWS account actually. So you are the root user. So by default, you will have a full access on all AWS services and resources. By default, you have a full access on all AWS services and resources. EC2, Lambda, Elastic Container Registry, ECRC, all the services. For all the services, you will have unrestricted access. AWS root user having unrestricted access for all this activity. Apart from that, why we need IAM then? So say an example, I'm saying if you go for a new cloud project, in the new cloud project, there will be a project manager will be there. The project manager, I can say like, he is the root user, I can say. Under to him, we can have multiple users to work with the project. I mean to say like, if you become a cloud engineer means, okay, if you become a cloud architect means, who is going to give the permission? The root user. The root user will give the permission on their AWS account. So example, based on the project, okay, based on the project, you will have a cloud account. Based on the cloud project, you will have a cloud account. Under the cloud account, you are going to be a member of the cloud. You are a member. So that member only I'm saying like IAM user. So what is meant by IAM user? IAM users are nothing but users under a cloud account. Okay. So to enable the accessibility and to enable the identity, we are going with the IAM. So by means of IAM, you are going to have an authentication and authorization. By means of IAM, you will be identified and you will be authorized. So authentication is similar to asking like, who are you? So when you are seeing newly some person, definitely you will try to identify them. You will ask the question like, who are you? You are trying to identify them. The same way AWS account also, whenever you are logging to the account newly, it will ask your username and password. Then only it can identify. That is what we are saying like authentication. So under the root account, you are going to have a multiple user. Those users you are going to be identified by username and password. Next to that, authorization. What is meant by authorization? Authorization is nothing but, okay, if I'm creating the users means what he can do. Okay, so it is asking like what he can do. So after login to that, what all are the services you are going to have access? I am testing out many services here, right? I'm listing out many services, right? What all are the services you are going to have accessibility? Whether you are going to access the database, or you are going to access the migration hub, or you are going to access the backup. So what is your role? So we can select role-based access control. Okay, based on the role, you can give the accessibility. Based on the role, you can assign the permission. So authorization is nothing but based on your work activity, they can allocate a permission to you. So that is what we need IAM actually. So now got a logic, understood the logic why we need IAM and what is meant by IAM. Just give a quick acknowledge so that we can move further. Any questions on this? Okay. So once you understood this IAM, under this IAM, what we are going to have? We are going to have a users, groups, policies, roles, password policy, MFA. That's it. Okay. So it is nothing but I can select users are nothing but I can say like individual users. I mean to say just before I said right under a cloud project you should have multiple users. So those users I can say right they will be identified by a username and password to log into the AWS account. Those are called as users. Then what is meant by groups? Groups are nothing but the collection of IAM users. The collection of IAM users are we can select groups. So nothing but under the group we can have multiple users. We can group the users to classify. Okay, to classify the users we can have a group. After that, what is the another one advantage of having the group? We can attach the policies to the group. Then what is meant by policy? Policies are nothing but it's a predefined template which is used for assigning the permission to the which is assigned for which is used for assigning the permission or rights to the users. So say an example, an user Venkat called us a Venkat. He can assign by a S3 access, or I can select I'm a user. I want to access the service, or I'm a database engineer. Okay, I'm a EC2. I'm a VM engineer. So I'm a storage engineer. So based on the role you are assigning the policies, right? So that policies we can select here AWS policies. Okay, and after that roles, something also roles is assigning. We can see this roles into a future session. Role is nothing but I can give an idea what is the role. Instead of assigning the permission to a user, if you want to assign a permission to a user, you can assign the policies to the group or you can assign the policies to the user. Instead of assigning the policies instead of assigning the policies to the users or groups, what you can do, you can assign the policies to one service to another service. If you are assigning the policies to one service to another service to access, that is called role. Okay. And next to that, password policy. Password policy is nothing but you can have minimum. You can say like password policy like a minimum 5. Like I can say number of characters, one uppercase, one lowercase. Okay, like that you can define a policy for password. That is called password policy. And MFA is a multi-factor authentication. It's an additional layer protection. It's an additional layer of security. Multi-factor authentication. Okay, so this is what the scenario. Now what I'll do, I'll go for okay. So now I can say like IAM, identity and access management. Under this, I'm going to create a users, groups, policies, okay, and roles, password policy, and multi-factor authentication. So this we can see now. So in that way, first I'm going to get into the AWS account. So before log into the AWS account, right, once again I can log out and I can tell you, or else no problem. First I'll get into the root account. So by default, in your root account, he will have the complete privilege, but he can develop his team. Okay, he can develop the root user. The root user further he can develop the multiple users and groups. So now what I'll do, I'm opening the IAM in a new tab and I'll show you. So let me show you the same. So it is loading. Let's wait. So 1 minute, friends. Yeah. See, under this I'm having 3 users, 1 group. Okay. So like this. So what I'll do, friends, I'll get into the. I'm going to create to make you understand. I'm going to create 2 groups. Okay. So let me create 2 groups. Like one is S3 admins and another one is S3 readers. I mean to say like I'm going to have a group of users. One I'm going to give like a privilege like read access. Another set of group I can going to give a privilege like write access as well. Which I mean to say, friends, let's see. I'll tell you a scenario. Okay, I'll kind of scenario I'll tell you so that you can completely understand this. So in my cloud project, I'm going to keep one central repository. So first of all, you need to understand what is going to be S3. To make you understand this IAM concept, something called as a S3 bucket, friends. Anyone already aware of S3 bucket? What is meant by S3 bucket? So S3 bucket is not a it's a very simple concept only. It's a storage place. There you can store your files and folders. It's kind of a I can say like to store your objects. I can use a S3 bucket. So by means of bucket, okay, by means of bucket, you can store your content. You can store your files and folders. Simply, I can select it is looking like it will be looks like Google Drive. It is nothing but a kind of a file server, FTP server. So here you can store your objects. Objects are nothing but files. It can be any media files or any text files or any script files. So under this S3 bucket, what are all I'm storing, right? That we can technically call as object. So bucket is nothing but it's a container to hold files and folders. Buckets are nothing but it's a container to hold files and folders. So those all are called as objects. Objects are nothing but files and folders. Got it, friends? Now S3 is a service, right? S3 is one of the AWS services. To access this S3 AWS service is Amazon S3, Amazon Simple Storage Service. What is meant by S3? S3 is Simple Storage Service. In the name itself, it is saying like it's a simple storage service. So there you can store your all the objects. Objects are nothing but files and folders. To access the service, I need a permission. That permission also I can have it at two levels. One is I can say like, okay, one is I can say like a read level access. Another one I can have a full access. Likewise, I can enable the access to a group of users. I'm going to have two groups. One is I'm going to have a S3 administrators. S3 administrator means they can have a read and write everything. S3 is kind of a file server. Yeah, kind of a file server, not exactly the same, but it is similar to a file server. Okay. So how in real time you have a file server, there you can store all your files and folders. Similar to that. So here also you can give the user permission. How in a file server you can give the permission. You can create a users and you can give a read and write or read permission. The same way. Okay, I'm going to say like one group I'm going to have S3 admins. Okay, one users I'm going to have one group I'm going to have S3 admins. Under the S3 admins I can have multiple administrators. I can select S3 admin 1, S3 admin 1, and I'm going to have S3 admin 2 like this. On the other hand, I'm going to have S3 readers or S3 users. So for this users, I'm going to give only the read permissions. Okay, you can select S3 user 1, S3 user 2. Okay, S3 user 1 and S3 user 2, which means I can give read permission for this. And here I can go for full permission, which means full permission in the sense they can read, write anything. So got it, friends? So understood what use case we are going to see? This scenario we can do it by IAM. So in real time also IAM is used for this kind of scenarios. Okay. So got it? Now let's see this practically so that you can get a clarity. So in that way, I'm going to create a two group. One group I'm going to create like S3 admin. Okay, one group I'm going to create like S3 admins. For S3 admin group, what is the policy which I want? So here you can filter the policy. I can select S3 full access. I can select Amazon S3 full access. Okay. The same way I can filter the policies. So I'll go for attach the policy with the group. So I'm creating a group with the policy. If you get into the group, You can see the permission, see Amazon S3 full access. Now same way I'm going to create one more group, friends. So I'll see like I'm going to create one more group which I can select S3 users or S3 readers. I can create in the name like that. S3 readers. I'll go to the next. And here I'll select S3 read only access. Amazon S3 read only access. And I'll go for next system. I'll go for
there. Excuse me.
Yes, please.
It looks like you searched for policies that were already predefined, right?
Correct,
so
correct.
How do we know what the policy does and means in its functionality? And can we create our own policies?
Super. Yeah, good question. So read-only access will have only the read policy, which means it will have only eligible with this policy. You are able to only read the content, but you can't do any write operation. So, an example, whenever you are going to attach a policy, you can search, you can filter. So it is going to be by hands-on only. So in the day one itself, you can't completely understand all the policies type. Obviously, you can understand by hands-on. So I'm going to select many more. See, 621 policies. Even we can't remember all the 621 policies. Okay. So based on the working function, you can choose any one of the policy actually, or based on your requirement.
Okay, thank you. I guess my question is not answered though. I'm asking based on the policy name. Sometimes people can make policy names that sound different, right? But we don't know what they actually do. So how do we know what a policy actually does?
I attach the S3 Amazon S3 full access for S3 administrators, and I attach a policy S3 read only access. Okay, I'm saying like S3 read only access. Since it is already attached, it is not showing that. Okay, when you go for filter like S3 read only means, then it will show the read only access policy. So one is full access. I attached two policies. One is Amazon S3 read only access. This is I attached for S3 readers. Okay, and for my S3 admins, I attach a S3 full access.
So see on that point, what happens? What does that show policy on the actions mean?
Which means that it can show it in a JSON format. See, effect is allow. Okay, effect is allow. Action is S3 star. Star means any.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, resource means any. So for all resources, all action it is allowed. Okay.
So we can't create our own policies, correct? We can only use the pre-built policies that are already built.
You can create your own policy also. Something called as a custom policy is there. If you want, you can use the custom policy as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Custom policy option also is there. If you want, you can define your own policy like this JSON format. Okay, right. Then what I'll do, I'll go for show you the effect of this. Now what I'll do, I'm going to create one user on each group. So let's see, I'll go for create one user on one user in the name of S3 admin 1. Okay, I'll create in the name of S3 admin 1. And I'm going to attach, I'm going to see like this user having two types. As of now, you can understand console access. In the later session, I can tell you what is meant by programmatic access, AWS management console access, and you can define any auto-generated password or custom password. And I'll go for create as a next permission. Custom password means you can type your own password. Say an example, better. Now we can go for a custom password. Okay, better we can go for custom password as of now. I'm defining a password. Auto-generated password means it will randomly giving like a one-time password like that. And it is saying like your user should create a new password at the next signing. If you want to allow, you can allow this, or else you can uncheck this box. Means if you check this box in the first sign in, you can reset the password, or else you can have the same password always. So if you want to make this as a temporary password, you can check this box and they can set their own password, or else you can uncheck this box. Now what I'll do, I'll go to the next permission. So in the first page, what I did, I selected the username, I given a username, and I selected a console access and I given a password. Now in the next page, it is asking about the permission. What permission you want to assign? So that is the reason I created the group, right? Let me select like S3 admin or S3 readers like that. So in that way, I am creating the user like S3 admin 1. So I'll go for click on create S3 admin 1. Then I'll go for click on create next. And I'll go for click on review. And finally, I can create this as a user. So I given a username is S3 admin 1 and I selected a Amazon console access. Access type is Amazon console access with the password. The password type is custom. And I assigned a permission is S3 admins group. Now I'll go for click on create user. Okay. As a result, I created a user which is attached with the group. How you can cross verify the same? You can click on close it. See, under the S3 admin user, under the group, S3 admins, you can see come to the users. One user is reflected. Okay. Now with this user, I'm going to log in and I can show you what will be the impact of this user. And to have a login as a IAM user. So currently I log in as a root user. If you want to log in as an IAM user, then what you can do, I'll show you. I'll move on to a private window. And I'll come into the main dashboard, IAM dashboard. So there will be one link will be there. With that link only, anyone can log in. See, for my account, it is Mon-Fri signin.aws.amazon.com/console. So what all are the users under my account, right? They can log in with this sign in only. So what all are the users under my AWS account? They can use this link to log in. So I copied this link and I'm coming to the see use is to one sign in dot okay sign in dot aws.amazon.com. See, now it is saying like it is similar to account ID or alias name. Now my what is my IAM username? Username is S3 admin 1. I created in the name of S3 admin 1. And its password. I set my own password, right? Let me set the password. Okay, I successfully log in, friends. Now see, this user having privilege on only S3. So let's see the impact. So there is some service called as EC2. So if you go for all services, it can list out. See EC2, VPC, S3 is there. Now let me try to access the EC2, friends. I'll try to access the EC2. I'll try to access the VPC, and I'll try to access the S3. Let's see what would be the impact. See something else it is saying like API error. Okay, let me get into the instances. Instances are nothing but virtual machines, which I meant to show how I'm having the privilege. How I'm going to have the privilege. So as a result, friends, what you can see, what you can understand from here in the sense, you don't have a privilege on IAM, sorry, you don't have a privilege on EC2, that and that. But you'll have a privilege on only the S3. So here, see, if you want to see anything, if you want to read some data, what it is saying like API error. What it is saying like API error? Because I don't have a permission. I don't have a permission to view this options and all. See what it is saying? You are not authorized to perform. Why? Because I'm having only the action on S3, not in a EC2, not in a VPC. See in VPC also what it is saying? Retry. Which I mean to say like, I don't have a privilege to access these resources. See, you are not authorized to perform. So where I will have access only on S3. S3 I will have complete access. What is meant by S3? S3 is a storage service. There you can create the bucket and you can store the objects over there. Okay. Now I'm having access on this. See, this is a bucket. Under the bucket, you can store any files and folders. Since I am having the access, what I can do, I can upload the files and I can download the files. See, I'll go for upload files. I'll go for add files. I can add some text files. Okay. To make you understand. So these are the action I'm able to do it on S3. Like S3, I can do it many more options. Okay, but today's session is IAM. It's about IAM, but I'm showing the privilege, how he has a privilege. See, it is successful. So as I said, I can store the objects under the S3. Now, I can tell you further what is our action plan. Today I didn't complete the IAM. So due to lack of time, I couldn't complete it. But don't worry, tomorrow I can continue with this IEM. But what a small task is that? What is the task in the sense? You also get, first you can create your AWS account. Under the AWS account, you can also create a group like this, S3 admins. Okay, you can create a group like S3 admins and S3 users. Okay, under that you can also create one user under this. So by means of S3 admins, I'm able to upload the files. And by means of S3 admins, I'm able to upload the file. What is the task for you in the sense? The same way you are going to create one user on S3 users. By means of S3 users, you are going to try to upload the file into the S3 bucket. And you just let me know the result. Tomorrow I'll ask you. Okay, let's see how many of you can do this task. It's a simple task. The same you are going to do it. You're going to create a bucket. Under the bucket, you can create the objects by means of S3 admin one, because administrator having the privilege. But the same you are going to try it by S3 users, and you let me know the result. Okay. So fine, friends. So today we didn't see completely IEM. Few things are pending. Tomorrow I can tell about in detail. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you all. So please do the task and please create the AWS account and try to practice this IEM. Okay, at the initial level, at least practice it so that you will have a hands-on. Okay. Okay, then thank you all. We'll meet tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. Take care.